Hey everybody, Bill Sack here, Director of Legal Operations with the Second Amendment Foundation. In this week's episode of Gun Control Rhetoric Over Reality, we take a closer look at the Biden administration's claim that its new rule regarding being engaged in the business of dealing firearms, quote, closes the gun show loophole. So let's talk briefly about what the new rule does and what it does not do. Last week, the Biden ATF released a final rulemaking, which, amongst other things, clarified a recent change in the statutory language of the GCA regarding who is considered engaged in the business of dealing firearms and therefore must become a licensed FFL in order to remain on the right side of federal law. The rhetoric coming from the White House repeatedly said that this new rule was closing the gun show loophole. But the reality, as you're probably not shocked to find out, is actually quite different. The substantive change the rule is clarifying is a recent change in the statutory language which defines who must get an FFL to sell firearms. The original language dealing with such conduct is found in the original Gun Control Act. As applied to a person selling firearms at wholesale or retail, the GCA defined the term engaged in the business in 18 U.S.C. 921A21C as a person who devotes time, attention, and labor to dealing in firearms as a regular course of trade or business with, now this is the critical section that has since changed, the principal objective of livelihood and profit through the repetitive purchase and resale of firearms. The 2022 Bipartisan Safer Communities Act changed that language. The statute now provides that as applied to a dealer in firearms, the term engaged in the business means a person who devotes time, attention, and labor to dealing in firearms as a regular course of trade or business to predominantly earn a profit through the repetitive purchase and resale of firearms. Gone is the reference to the principal objective to earn livelihood. That's it. That's the big change. What neither the BSCA nor the new rule do not do is prohibit all private firearm sales or require that anyone selling a firearm privately become an FFL. Nor does it prevent anyone from selling firearms at a gun show where it is otherwise lawful as an FFL or not. Rather, it broadens the requirement that those who sell firearms repetitively with the predominant intent to earn a profit, but perhaps not with the principal objective of their livelihood, must get an FFL in order to do so. Private gun sales to grow or reduce a private collection remains entirely lawful, whether at a gun show or otherwise. There never was a gun show loophole, and this rule does not close any. But don't get me wrong, even with the limited scope of the change in the new rule, the overall regulatory scheme regarding precisely who is engaged in the business of dealing in firearms remains an opaque and subjective analysis wrought with severe lack of clarity and the looming threat of extreme government violence for noncompliance. When the average person can't tell when they are afoul of the law and risk ATF SWAT arriving at their door unannounced, we have a severe problem and the potential for ongoing and needless tragic outcomes. I'm Bill Sack, Director of Legal Operations with the Second Amendment Foundation.